All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I trust you all had a blessed Easter holiday, and we have just reviewed Won't Last a Day Without You from 2 weeks ago. We weren't together last week. And now today we are moving into Night and Day from the Gay Divorce. And it's in the key of F. So I trust that you all have it in the key of F. The first chord, however, is D as in dog flat. So we want your intro to be played with the F chord. Okay, so make sure you make a note of that. Play an F chord for your intro, and then when you come in, you'll come in with the D flat chord. Okay. On song setup on this particular instrument, it sets it up with ballroom Latin. You could also use a rumba. I wasn't quite as fond of, what was it? Let me see here. I wasn't as fond of bossa nova, but it does work. Rumba Beguine works, and ballroom Latin, as I said, was my particular song setup. So I'm sure there's many, many others, and it's always good to hear from those of you who might have some styles that we are not as familiar with. So don't hesitate to tell us about those next week when we're back together again. You can use the Latin category. I found that worked nicely. Or you can use style setup, or as some of you have called, rhythm preset. So it's just a matter of what's your fancy on that. And we're going to do a little bit of construction, not too much. But I will tell you, in certain places, the fingering is important in this music because if you don't prepare yourself, there's an opportunity to run out of.
That's with that's the right one.
There we go. There's an opportunity to run out of fingers, so you don't want that to happen. So I'll point that out when we get to it. So let's take a look on complete measure one. It's a D flat chord. D is in dog. And then we're going to give that D flat chord 2 beats. And on beat number 3, we're going to play an E flat chord. E is an elephant, E flat. And then on beat 4, back to D flat. Okay, in the next measure, you'll play that measure the way it's written. And then when we go to the following, which is a tie, those 3 notes, the B flat, the A, and the G sharp, I recommend that you do an echo in the measure that is the fourth, 1, 2, 3, third measure there with the A note. Instead of holding the A, echo those 3 notes. And whenever you want to echo, you can always use LRS, which is lower right split, if you like the sound that's provided there. Otherwise, you can change the sound if you prefer, but that's a little bit more work. So we'll do some echoing as well.
Johnny,
Yes.
what is an echo?
Means repeat those 3 notes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're doing that instead of the tied A?
More or less, yes. So you'll play the A note, but then you'll do the other 2 beats worth of B flat, A, and G sharp. And I'll show you that in just a minute. I might be able to show you now. Let's take a look at that. Here we go, 7. I did was drop down to the lower right split and play those notes again. Listen again. And go on. The same thing is going to occur on line 2, measure 2. The lyric is "You beneath the," and on beat 3, we want to play that E flat chord again. And on beat 4, you want to play the D as in dog flat chord, just like we did in the first complete measure. Again, on measure 4, we're going to echo the previous 2 notes, or 3 notes rather, just like I did. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. I'm home. And yeah. Let me out of jail.
Alrighty. Let's see. Here's a place. On line 2, the A and G sharp. You need your thumb to be on the A and then cross over with your second finger to the G sharp and then tuck under again back to your thumb on A. So it's a 1-2-1 pattern. And you'll see that when you'll see my fingers. But right now to give you the examples, I've been using my left hand. So don't go by what you're seeing because it's the opposite. But I'll show you that as well. And that happens on line 4. Measure 2 is D and then D flat and then C. So the D, actually, let's start back at measure 1. On the G, no matter where you are, you need your thumb No, let's not worry about that there. Let's look at measure 2. You're going to be on a thumb on D as in dog, and then cross over it with your second finger on D flat, and then tuck your thumb to play the C. And something I found that gave it a little bit of personality was on measure 3, I'm on line 4. On the 4th beat, you see you have 2 C's in a row the same. Well, instead of doing that, on the 4th beat, I played 8BA, B as in boy, BA means an octave lower. So I did this. I was down here. Just for that one note, I went down and then back up, which would put you on measure 4. I played that one note an octave lower, just to give it a little bit of a flair. Now, at the top of my page, which comes in night and day, this begins the bridge, so you'll want a new sound there. But also, on the C, I'm on box number 2, second ending here. On the C, you need your third finger. And then on the E flat, don't use your pinky, use finger 4. Because later on in the next line, we have to get up to an F. So put your 4th finger on the E flat there. Okay, when we go to line 2, the lyrics are "There's an O." That's an E flat note and an A flat chord. You want to be sure to put your 4th finger on that E flat so that you have your fifth finger available for the F, which is the next note. Unusual, but not totally uncommon, on line 3, we're going to put a thumb on a black key. We don't do it very often. We try not to in most cases, but that's how it's going to work here. So on line 3, yearning, burning in, the fingering is 5 on the F, 4 on the E flat, 3 on the C, 2 on the B flat, and 1 on the A flat. So that's one of those unusual cases where we're going to have a thumb on a black key. And then measure 2 is 3 C's, and then there's a tie, so you can echo those 3 C's again. You can do it on the lower right split, or different sound, or an octave higher, however you want to form the echo there. And when we get to measure 3, there's an A note. Make sure that you put your third finger on on the A note. Finger 3 on A. Once again, on line 4, measure 3, you have a G flat, and an F. You're going to want to use finger 1, your thumb, cross over to the G flat with finger 2, and then tuck under with your thumb for the F note. And the last line, measure 2, beat 4. I did the same thing that I did in the beginning. I dropped beat 4, that F, down 1 octave, just for 1 note, just to give it a little flair. Instead of 3 Fs on the same pitch, I had the one in the middle be 1 octave lower. Okay, any questions? No? Okay. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to do ballroom Latin first, since that was the song setup. I want to be sure that you can see this okay. Yeah, there we go. Remember, F intro. Make sure you use the F chord for the intro.
What tempo, Joni?
Well, it comes on at 108. Okay. But you could take it, even if you wanted to go down to 100, that's more than fine, no problem. which is the top of my second page. I'm going to do that part again to make it a little more final at the end of the song. And let's go here to a few mariachis. Okay. Let's run over to the rumba so you get a little taste of that. And again, don't forget, no matter which intro or ending you use, make sure the intro chord is F for you. Okay. Let's see what we have. I'm still on Latin category, so maybe this time I'll take a peek here at
Joni?
style setup so you can hear some of that. Yes.
Why must you play an F chord intro when the first chord is a D flat in the song?
I don't know that I can explain why.
Okay.
It just, the F, when you play the F chord and then you go to a D flat, it'll resolve. If I play a D flat chord, there's no diversity. This is what I'll get. Here's a D flat chord. Now here's the F chord intro. That in both of those music styles, the rumba and the ballroom Latin, in both cases, when I used the fill, I didn't hold my right hand notes, my melody notes. That's because I want to let the instrument work for me. I could hold it, but I wouldn't get the same impact if I did this. Now I really get the impact of it. Otherwise, the fill is not as effective if you're holding a note that will be sustained. In that case, I was on an orchestra of strings. And so really you just kept hearing the strings and there was just a little something going on in the background, as opposed to if you get off the melody note, let the instrument work for you. And it does a very good job of that. We all want it. We all want our instruments to work for us, get the best that we can out of it. Questions? Could you hear a difference on the two intro chords, Gary?
Yes, I did.
One of the reasons that it's important to use that F is because in an F chord there is a C. If you use a D flat, your first two notes on their own, so to speak, are dissonant to the C because it's this. But if I have F chord, then I can do. So it works really nicely with it.
Joni, isn't the fact that the final chord of the song an F also indicative?
Yes and no. Many times yes, a few times no. Not always, but there's not a lot of always and there's not a lot of evers in music. It's a journey. It's very few times do we have an always, always, always. And very few times do we have never, never, never. However, yes,
Generally.
it is indicative that the song is in the key of F. It doesn't necessarily stand as a principle that you have to start with the F chord, but in this case, you're going to sound better with an intro of an F chord than you are with a D flat. And I was kind of, when Gary asked the question, I was kind of collecting my words in my head because I said, now, how do I explain why? I wasn't sure how to give a why. So I got you to listen to it first, and then I collected my thoughts as to here's why I did it anyway. But it's always a journey. It's never a destination. I tell all of my classes that. I tell myself that when I have a bad run, I'm playing something and it's just not going well that day for me. I just say it's always going to be a journey, no matter how proficient or how beginner you are. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be a journey.
But it's going to be a very, very special Zoom musical, new musical experience, however you like to call it, because we have something very, very fun that we're going to be playing today.
Okay. I don't know what that was about, but
Somebody was listening to Robert.
yeah, I muted that out. Any questions? It's a very nice song, very nice melody. And if you come up with other music styles, please be sure to share that with us as well, because I'm sure we have a lot more that are possible.
The aria uses smooth foxtrot.
Uses what?
Smooth foxtrot.
Oh, smooth foxtrot. Oh, yeah. That's good. Let's hear that. Where did I go? Find myself. I guess it must be in the B's. Maybe. Try this. Well, I know I have that style, but I can't put my finger on where it is at the moment, so we'll be at.
Under standard,
Pardon?
under standard, standard styles.
Yeah, but I don't have standard. It's different language on this instrument.
Ballroom?
Oh, no.
I thought smooth foxtrot was an old style.
It is. Here it is. Here it is. Let's use intro 2 for this. Now I'll do intro 1. I'm going to slow it down though. Makes you accent a little differently if you heard that. I don't know. I liked it a little more side to side smoother, I think, than what
Hello,
smooth foxtrot made
good
me.
morning. How are you this morning?
Yeah, we can't talk on the phone. I'm sorry. Any other questions or comments? Okay, well, you have a good time with that. I hope you have a very safe and healthy week and a blessed day today. Make some music. And if you run into anything you do have a question on, please don't hesitate to call me. That's why I'm here. Here to help you.
Joni,
Yes.
I have one question on the musical sign V8. I thought that meant to go up.
8, B as in boy, A.
Oh, B.
B as in
Oh.
boy means down.
Okay, so the V8 is up.
V8, V as in Victor, that's up.
Okay, thank you. Oh, B.
All right. Have a blessed day, and I will see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Joni. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.